Welcome to Trading Lounge and the US tech stocks, and it does appear that the wave 4 that we've been looking for in terms of an A and a B and a C wave down through to here. I'll need to lift that up 1 degree of structure, but I can do that later. It does appear from stocks that that we do have a low in place. We are seeing some reasonable volume come in on the Friday, so that we'll see if the Monday follows through on that. So we're seeing that this is the NASDAQ 100 here. We're seeing that on the cash market with the SPX here, and also the full futures contracts. We're seeing that nice volume come in at this point, and it was sort of interesting that the futures actually made this high above this one here. We noted that before, but and the E-minis here, some good volume come in, so also giving 5 waves to the upside. So it's just not the indices. You know, the indices are a reflection of stock, but it does appear that we'll need to look for lows in for stocks. And for the NASDAQ here, in very simple terms, is that 15,000 is the closest, largest number. So if we get support there in terms of a classic trading levels pattern, something like this across the 15,000, it'd probably be something like this rather than something simplistic like this here. But basically in both cases we're looking for that first high above the level, and once we've got that first high above the level, then we can put our long trade triggers coming down, and once we get triggered in, then the market is proving to us that it's strong. You know, we're not chasing it, it's coming to us, and that's what we'll look for. But this basically pattern of being resistance over here to support and buying new highs is a safe way to the upside. So we'll talk about more about that in the indices video next. I also just want to mention too that with the new website, it's taking longer than I expected, but I'm hoping that we'll get there just after the 20th of this month. So with that, there will be not so much this one, it's this one here I wanted to have a look at. So there's a few things that we can look at. We'll have the stock check here, which will be where the stock trades are, and the crypto check. The forex check won't be there, but all the analysis will be here. We're also going to cover US chart sectors, not on an intraday basis, but yeah. And Alessio's with his US stocks, he's picked out 30 stocks, and he's just going to work those stocks there, so they're updated regularly. There'll be the chat module in there, and a few little tools. The trading game's quite good to learn to day trade in on, and just a very simple Elliott wave chat GTP thing, but we're going to be building on that. So yeah, the forex won't be completed, and the commodities portfolio won't be completed, but we'll be able to put trades out here, and you know, we'll load up a little chart to go with that, you know, just to give you a bit of an idea of what's what at that point. And yeah, you'll be able to calculate your risk for your position sizing. It's probably a bit of an overkill here, but it sort of helps you you know, get the numbers right at least, you know, and then you can set up portfolios and you know, set them through so you'll have open positions, closed positions, and all those sort of things. There will be basic charts in here as well. We'll have this is just a trading view one here, and then a more professional one coming in here. We're also rebuilding the trading levels charting program, but we have got trading levels to go on trading view as well, and you'll just get your basic other information in here as well. News and balance sheet and income statement and all those sorts of things will be in there as well. So yeah, and you'll have a dashboard that you can that you can set up how you like, so you can just get to things quite quickly. If you wanted to, in your dashboard here, you just set them up, and if you wanted to watch the video here, you can just click through to get that and those sorts of things. So yeah, anyway, getting there. So probably around the 20th over that weekend, hopefully we'll put that there, and you'll just be able to log straight in from where with your normal login and all those sorts of things. Okay, so just moving across here a little bit. So we're looking at Apple. So with all of these as well, pick and lows is a bit of a mug's game, so we need to be very diligent about this situation. So I mean, it looks quite comfortable as an ABC pattern, and that's how we're seeing pretty much all of the market. But yeah, we just need to be a little bit careful. So there's 61.8% from wave B down to wave C here. That will be a contentious point. And then also the 61.8% from the top here down to the bottom here will also be a bit of a contentious point as well. So we'll just keep an eye on everything as it's sort of moving along. This is moving a little bit quick here for that price to move up on. So we will be careful with these sorts of things. And yeah, so because this one here, for example, this can be counted in different ways. We just got to make sure, because basically with all the markets, with the S&P and the NASDAQ, we're basically looking for wave 5 and then an A and a B and a C wave coming down deeper down here for this. Now, of course, anything can happen, and the markets do look very toppy. I understand that. It's very difficult to be bullish in a bearish situation. I understand that as well. But we'll just inch our way forward as we go. I mean, this could get more complicated. We could get up to here and then have another, move down, and this can be counted differently over here, this particular one. So we could put even wave 1 over here on this, but we can't do that with a lot of other markets. So we'll just edge in here slowly and build to the upside. So as it's building to the upside here from this from this low here, we'll look at it. This is the first 61.8%. So we'll see how it gets to there. It should be okay as 1, 2, and 3, and 4 here, at least to 5 here. In that case, and with wave 5 here, would be looking at this as wave 1 and 2 at that point, back for 1 and 2 here. So there'll be an opportunity to get in here with this. This wasn't one of our strongest stocks. The strongest stocks that that I've been talking about last week and whatever is that. Meta Platforms was one of them. Google was another. In fact, we were long in Google. We're out of Google now, but anyway, we'll get to that. So yeah, and Nvidia was another one. So there was a little handful of ones that were quite strong, and it does seem that the rest are being sort of pulled up here. But obviously, we don't have a really good impulse wave here just yet. But if we do get 5 waves to here, then we're going to get another 5 waves over to here. I've got a B wave over here, so I'm just a little bit cautious about this particular stock, and also Amazon as well, because with I'll get to Amazon in a moment, but yeah, just drilling in here a little bit further for this market into 100 ticks. We're looking at it like this. So this is a slightly, no, this is it, yeah. So wave 1 here, wave 2 here in blue, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 here, and 5 up here for the 3rd wave, 4th wave, and the 5th wave here. Maybe I've got the 5th wave a little bit sort of long there for that, but we'll see when we get there. So yeah, we can just look to see if we get those 5 waves, and then we can look for this wave 2 to pull back here for that. So we'll just wait on this one. I don't want to particularly get in at this point. I mean, we should be going higher, but I'll just wait for a better setup for that. Yeah, with Amazon, I've got this as an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave down here as wave 4. So, having 5 waves down from the top here, does give us a good alternative wave B here for, as such, you know. So I'd be a little bit careful with this one. It's okay to trade it up to 135 or something, you know, but getting up there, that's where you'd have to sort of just, you know, pull out of it, and we'll assess it as the structure moves along. So we can expect it higher, but coming down from the top, having 5 waves, that's, you know, I mean, I'm pretty happy with the A, the B, and the C wave here. I'm okay with that. And, you know, bringing it in line with the wave 3 and having a wave 4 here in line with the NASDAQ and the S&P and everything else, then I'm okay with that. But yeah, anyway, we'll see how that progresses to the upside. Now, do I have this on a smaller one? Probably not. No, so we'll just leave that one there. And then we come over to Nvidia. Nvidia is another one that had a bit of an awkward top here. It was a bit spiky, but it did show in the early stages a good, you know, right in the early stages here, we noted that there was 5 waves at the low here. So we've just monitored that and put it into the basket with Meta, that also had that first 5 waves there as well. So we figured out that, you know, these stocks would be the leaders to the upside, and that still seems to be the case. And if everything goes according to plan, like the S&P and the NASDAQ and so on reflecting these things, we should see something, you know, like this here, and then moving up again. I know that's pretty hard to take, but you know, and I could certainly be wrong as well, but we'll just, as I say, we always just inch it forward as we go. But yeah, this, like Amazon having 5 waves down from the top, this particular top here was created just in one day on one spike. So I could view this as being 5 waves down. But anyway, let's just go in and take a closer look at this here. This is just this. So we're looking for 1 and 2 here, and then 3 to move up there further. But we'll just pull this apart here and just go into the 100 ticks area as we do and check on that. So this is the way that I'm counting it to the upside. So it's a little bit messy in here, and I thought that I'd sort of sorted that out, but yeah, so look, it's basically from probably this top to the bottom here. I'll just double check on that as well. Is it that one? Yeah, so basically that group 2 here, if I take it from this top here, it's going to bring it up a little bit higher here. So this group 2 area here, the 4, 6, 5 starting at, that's where it's going to get find the resistance at that point. There's nothing really over here to give it a hard time though, but yeah, so we'll have to wait for the pullback there. But as far as this goes, you could probably count this a little bit differently as well. You could probably look at this as wave 1 and 2 in here as well, but yeah, I'll just see how it goes. But it's, the thing here is that we are getting impulse waves to the upside here, so the likelihood of it continuing is extremely high. All we need to do is find a nice setup now that we can kind of confirm that the majority of stocks, the consensus is that wave 4 low is in place. Now, so now we just need to find a way in with markets. So, yeah, so like at the 450 here, there may be some retest of that number, you know, because there is this consolidation over here for that. So that's probably likely as well. To drop back here, you know, first of all, and then that would give us a setup, a classic trading levels pattern across the 450, the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, an ABC pattern. So I'll just take this away here a bit. So we may get some, you know, some other little sort of thing that comes in like this first and then up at that point. But anyway, the trend is bullish. That's one thing. You know, the next thing is just refining an entry on these. So this is 1000 ticks. It's Meta here. One of the things that we always liked about Meta was that we could actually count 5 waves up here, and the way that it sat on here, and we were just really waiting for it to take out, you know, a previous high. So obviously it's done that, and yeah, we should end up over here. I think 3.8. Yeah, that's about right. So yeah, so wave 1 here, wave 2 here, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, and heading up into the 3rd wave here, the 4th and the 5th for the 3rd, 4th, 5th. So yeah, I mean, this could extend up higher as well. So I would imagine it would. I mean, it's kind of way out in front of the other markets, you know. I mean, when you think about the S&P just being over here at the moment, you know, finding its low with the NASDAQ, then this one here sort of, you know, leading well out in front here. So I think that's sort of interesting. But we were working on, I just wanted to show the bigger picture there. We've been working on 100 ticks. So we've got this wave 2 here, and I have lifted these up 1 degree of structure. That's why it probably looks a little bit different here. But yeah, we'll have 1, 2. So we'll get some sort of classic trading levels pattern across across the 320, and then we'll move up at that point. So be up at wave 3 at that point, wave 5 there. So just working through the levels, you know, the story. So not a big deal, but yeah, that's good to the upside. So Netflix here, we've got yeah, because we were talking about this last time, and I was thinking, well, if the NASDAQ and that's got another little low to put in, maybe this is just wave 1 from wave 4 here down to wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 coming down. But we've probably got a low in here. Don't have good volume on this at the moment. I'll just double check that really with this here. Just bear with me for a moment. Netflix and no, not too bad, but yeah, I would like to see better, but that's okay for the time being. We had some good volume come in here on the day before, sort of supporting it. So yeah, so so basically we're just calling a low in here now for this market, and we should end up, you know, above wave 3, so around the 500 would be logical at that point. It's a long way to go. I know that. I understand that. We'll see how that plays out. But as far as the crow flies, then that looking pretty good. It'd be nice to get a better impulse wave up off the lows here for this. I'm not sure. We're on 100 ticks or 1000. I'll just double check. Not that one. So we're working this one. This is the one. So yeah, so last time we spoke, we were looking for wave 4 here, and I thought, you know, we could count 5 waves down, and you know, we could call a low in, but and you know, it may be the case, you know, but if it was going to call a low in, I'll need to upgrade all of these here as well to 1 degree higher. But the first thing I wanted to do here was just really wait to see if I get 5 waves up here. So we've got 1 and 2 here. Okay, so there'll be wave 3 and 4 coming in, and then there'll be wave 5 here, and then there's going to be some sort of ABC, which could pull back a bit deeper too, by the by. But yeah, all we need is that top to come in first, and you'll know when the top is in because it's dropped. You know what I mean? You don't actually have to pick the top, just let it drop, and then once you do that, you'll see a second high here, and that could be the entry at this point. If we can get a small position here, or even 2 positions, you know, in this zone here, and then look to build on top of the 400. That should be a, you know, and think about it as a trend trade. So you don't use leverage, because we want to go from 400 to 500. It's going to take some time to do that. So if we get 5 waves here, then we can strongly consider, you know, it'll be another layer of security in terms of like working the low here, but we don't have 5 waves yet. You know, we have 5 waves down here, we have an ABC up here, so you know, it just as easily come down at this point, but I'm just running with what's going on in the rest of the market at this point. So Google here, so we need to look at this here as probably different ways to count this 2 coming up here, but basically in one way or another, this wave 4 here, we're coming up for wave 1 and 2, and then we'll need to go up for wave 3, you know, 3, 4, 5 and all that sort of stuff. In the bigger picture of this on the XLC here, the communications sector, we've been looking for a corrective move here, and it looks quite nicely at the medium level here, 65. So yeah, we could start looking at seeing how this moves to the upside. Yeah, but if everything goes according to plan, I think I need to put this up here, this wave 3 that I'm looking for over here. I think I need to put that over here, but we'll see. Well, anyway, I'll need to mull that over a little bit further, but you know, this was the 50-60% retracement level area here, so it's kind of come up here, met that resistance at that point, gathering around the 65 here, and it has given us a correction. It doesn't, you know, it could still be bearish and come down, you know, it could be a big bearish move of, you know, coming down for 1 and ABC back for 2 here and then coming down. There's always the other side of it, but at some point you need to find the safest way in and, you know, build up a few little positions. But otherwise, yeah, we should be moving up, taking new highs out here for this, so that's good. I mean, the whole move up here can be counted. I've got it as 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 here. You know, or you could count it as an ABC for the A wave here and the B wave here and the C wave up here. You know, I could put the C wave here. There's a few different ways to look at it. If it was going to be corrective, this is where it's going to fail from, in here. So we don't have a nice 5 waves up here yet. If we get a nice 5 waves up here, then we can say goodbye to the A, B and C up here, technically speaking, you know. Okay, so yeah, so as far as this goes, I will double check all of this because I could probably put blue wave 1 over to here for that. But yeah, either way, it's still got further to go to the upside. So I think we were long here and we took profit. So I think what we're looking for, you know, just we're looking for this wave 2 pullback. That's really the next one. You can move in here, but this strong trend here, what you see, you'll see a little bit more of that, you know, but it's just going to go into wave 4s and 5s here, so it's going to be a bit like this in here in reverse, you know. So you'd be spending more time in here, rather you'd be more time than price area, but this is the next trade over here for this, but this will take quite some time to, you know, it could take weeks to get over to here. You know, I mean, 1s and 2s here took quite a long time to get to that point, you know. But still, you can go long if you want. Radio. So Microsoft. So with Microsoft, we'll need to call the low in here now too, with the A wave, the B wave, and the C wave down here. And yeah, just looking for it to continue to the upside. So it all looks pretty good here, really. So a bit like Google in its way, but I think this one will move a little bit quicker. We're looking for, you can go long here for the short term, but basically it's this wave 2 that we're looking for. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third wave, fourth wave, fifth wave here for wave 1 here. I mean, these old highs up here will play, you know, a nice part in it. So the 340 as the resistance here for that. Okay, we'll come over to Tesla and we're looking at this here. This is kind of in line with more like Meta actually. So wave 4 being in place and wave 1 already being established, and wave 2 here. I have up updated this in terms of, we had this as blue wave 2, so I've lifted it up a little bit. So we should be taking this high out here. So we'll just keep a bit of a track on it. The 300 is going to really sort of hold it there a lot. We'll see how it goes. I mean, this wave could extend higher as well. There's a couple of, because wave 1 and wave 3 are roughly the same length, so we could get an extension in the 5th wave here, because we haven't got the extension yet. We'll talk more about that later, but yeah, just mention it. So yeah, as far as this goes here, we'll look at this as 1 and 2 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the 3rd wave here, the 4th wave, and then the 5th wave here for 1 and then 2 here. So you really need to keep the stop out of the way down here for this, because that wave 2 here, just if we look at this, it may not be the case, but that will be wave 3, 4, 5. So if we take it to here, then that 60, the pocket, the 50, 60%, well, that would be the 50, 60% in here for that. So it could come back and take you out here. So if you're going to go long, and it may not come this far back, you know, but it could come back that far. So you'd need to leave your stop at, you know, below this low here at least, if you're going to build in here. And if you're going to build in here, if you're going to buy here, which is fine, but just make it a small position, and then we'll look to build in on this ABC pattern over here when this comes back, you know. We'll build in over here, about in here somewhere. This is where we'll build into over here. And then that way the risk-reward factor is a little bit tighter at that point. Alrighty, that's the US stocks, and yeah, just to recap, we're just looking for the NASDAQ to help confirm that that low is indeed in place. So we shall see. Alrighty, cheers.